but we are seeing this Asuri Ditto that you were talking about.
Yep. Here we go into game one on the Mammoth Fortress, and we've got Wrenched versus noeL. First weapon goes over to noeL, and that's the weapon that we talked about that he favors, and Wrenched finding his favorable weapon here. They already are going off stage in typical Asuri fashion. Sidelight comes out, does not hit, and noeL punishes the recovery. Nice nair, but reaches too far, and Wrenched is able to convert that into a guitar string himself. I'm loving these Sairs from Wrenched. He's being able to put in some damage. These dash nairs, goes for a dare read off of the guitars, and instead finds a neutral air instead.
Now he's not finding these multi-hit strings that we're used to seeing from a lot of guitar players. He's finding like 5 or 6 hits that are separated, but he's not taking any damage in between. So it's still technically a string, but he's not committing too much. He's getting 1 hit, then going 3 seconds, getting another hit, going 1 second, and then getting some more damage, and it's so consistent.
And both players there are being very liberal with their ground pounds, not afraid to throw them out. A down air actually punishes out that down stick. Wrenched, however, finds his own ground pound and it connects. Doesn't know how the dodge he does, but he gets Sair, disarms him. He has a dodge, he gets back. No, ground pound stuffed out by Wrenched. D is able to find the first stock here in this game number 1. noeL waiting for a weapon spawn, but Wrenched was doing a great job of being able to deny him from them. Is he going to throw his guitars away? No, instead opts to use a move to punish him as he picks it up.
Now keep in mind when noeL was on the edge, this spiking nair, that is going to catch Wrenched in the middle of his in-air movement options when he had already used so many of them, and that's going to kill, even though it's a move with relatively low variable force. But earlier you saw noeL on the side, he got hit into the wall. That is not going to reset your jumps if you ricochet. You actually have to touch under your own power.
Sidelight comes out from Wrenched, does not manage to lead into anything, and in fact gives noeL a few hits. Dodges out of the way of that falling Sair, and Wrenched taking a nice neutral light to be able to catch that landing. I'm liking these sidelights from noeL. Really toss the guitars away. He does. He picks up a new pair of them, and Wrenched finds himself unarmed here. Nice recovery. Manages to contest noeL's guitars off stage and win. Finds the guitars himself, dashing left and right, looking for a way in, but noeL's not allowing them to have it as they both throw out neutral lights, just waiting for the other opponent to fall into them. And they're off stage now. This could be dangerous for Wrenched. noeL is managing to land, and he finds a nice neutral air at the last second here. Wrenched is trying to find a neutral light, manages to get it, chase dodges upwards, nothing comes off of it, and noeL picks up the sword once again.
And in this true Asuri Ditto fashion, we're seeing both of these players go so even against one another right now. It's dead even. Wrenched has noeL off the edge. There's the down air wait into the turnaround slap. And that is the first big lead that we've seen so far against these two players who have been so evenly matched for 2.5 minutes now. That's going to be a huge lead for Wrenched. And like you said, he's throwing that wild card flag again.
Oh, but the GC downlight to punish Wrenched string there, being able to get that ground pound, puts a little bit more damage onto him, but Wrenched finding these downlights, he doesn't care about getting hit by those unarmed moves. Yes, they're great for KOs. The ground pound comes out, Wrenched gotta be careful. Wrenched might go for a Sair there off the stage. noeL manages to make it back on, refreshes his wall touch, but the down air from Wrenched dodges right out of the way, goes for the ground pound. He's got to recover on the other side. Does Wrenched have enough to get back? He does, just barely makes it with that dodge. noeL now off stage, getting hit by that ground pound. He's got to be careful. Wrenched has shown that he's a little bit more dominant off stage here, but never mind, noeL getting a ground pound himself, and Wrenched has nothing. It's evened up 1-1. Both players now find themselves having a death underneath Mammoth Fortress.
But still, Wrenched has this lead. He has about 50 damage on noeL at this point. There's a nice down air. There's the downlight. Doesn't pick up the recovery as the option, but you're seeing Wrenched go all over this stage, putting so much movement out here, keeping noeL on the back foot, noeL on the wall.
Yep, he had to dodge really far away to avoid that side stick. Wanted nothing to do with it. Downlight's coming out here, and Wrenched manages to miss out on that down air, tosses the guitars away, picks up some more, is throwing them into Wrenched to be able to get that string, and Wrenched is off stage. This is an opportunity for noeL here. Is he able to find a side air into a ground pound? But no, Wrenched takes the opportunity, gets the ground pound himself, solidifies his lead in this best of 5, takes game number 1, and noeL is going to have to make some adjustments because Wrenched won off stage time and time again.
Wrenched just trying to show something on his phone here. The camera switched right away from him as he did it, but noeL on the other side, like you saw the grin coming out from Wrenched. noeL, one of the most stone cold players in the world out here. We did an escape room with him and Blood Diamond earlier, and they were goofballs the entire time. But then when noeL gets on this stage, he is just completely stone cold, stoic as I've ever seen anyone before.
He's a play to win.
Absolutely.
And he's showing it, but he's got to pull out a little bit more against Wrenched here. Wrenched is showing that he is also here to play to win, as we were talking about. He's intending to win Dreamhack Austin entirely. And now going over that neutral light, goes to the ground pound. Oh no, noeL's off stage once again, manages to dodge past it, but another dare coming up from Wrenched. Will he be able to get a down air, a ground pound off of noeL's recovery? No, he manages to make it back. D-light Sair. Both players perfectly fine with just fighting each other off the side of the stage. Jumping Sair does not quite connect, and that down zig doesn't hit. Wrenched is looking in, trying to get back off stage. That ground pound comes out. I'm so it makes me so nervous when I see both players just going down, like just vertically, just fighting over and over again. These stairs, once again, wrenched. Just get back on the center stage. Oh, you need to go for that side air.
Now, it's interesting that early in this game, they both picked up Sword, which is what noeL usually goes for and not what Wrench usually goes for on this Asuri pick, and yet Wrench was winning out. He was winning out in the Sword game. The spot dodge is going to run out of iframes. That down signature is going to have so many active frames, it's going to throw out big hitboxes in front of you, stacked, and behind you.
Yep. Asuri's down sig both on the Sword and the guitars. Wow, he's carrying them around. It's cool because the hitbox, it doesn't travel far, but it lasts for a long time, and it's the best thing to use to punish a spot dodge, and it's exactly what he did on the side of the stage there, solidifying the stock lead from him, and he's putting the hurt onto noeL. Once again, these guitar strings are insane. D-Light into there, puts noeL off the side of the stage. Side light goes into that neutral sig.
That is so big.
Will that come out? He gets it down air. Will noeL be able to make it back?
But the stock. Oh, noeL tries to get the side air turnaround, and Wrench gets a gravity cancel disco?
To come off with that at the last second, being like, okay, I've tossed my weapon aside. That doesn't work. The ground pound doesn't work. You know what? I'm just going to breakdance all over my opponent there. The last second, he's able to get that 2-stock lead, and noeL, he's got to watch out for that ground pound.
Wrench is just going in, man.
Wrench just wants this match over. He's ready. I need to go to the next match on this in this top 8. Manages to recover. noeL finds that falling there. He could possibly take a stock, and based off the nature of this game, this could still be a game for noeL here because they're fighting off stage so much. They don't even want to touch the center of the stage. They don't care about it. They're 2 Asuri players. This is what we were talking about. The weapon toss comes out. noeL finds that sword. D-Light recovery gets that KO, but that's the first stock of many that noeL is going to have to find if he wants to be able to take this game number 2.
Yeah, and you saw how noeL was just completely leaving the edgeguard situation at the end. He saw that it wasn't working. He wasn't finding any kill options, and he was taking damage in the process. So Wrench was still, he was just chilling over there. He was living on the edge, had no problem with it, and noeL was the one who was like, okay, this is not working for me. I need to find something. If I keep doing this, I'm going to keep taking damage. I'm going to fall into kill percent, and the same thing is going to keep happening. So I'm going to go back onto the stage. Nice side air from Wrench. Sword v sword, Wrench just winning. Guitar v guitar, Wrench just winning. Guitar v sword, Wrench just winning. Sword v guitar, Wrench just winning.
You can't be dropping those D-Light stairs either. Downlight on sword leads into so many moves, but if you don't get the jump after the downlight, you're not going to find the follow-up, and that happened to noeL. He goes in for that down sig punish, does not quite hit. Wrench is looking for the beginning of this guitar string, but noeL actually has brought the damage up to even despite being at a little bit of a deficit here on this last stock. Neutral light hits, and he gets a nice read, inching forward with that walk, getting that D-Light. There's the D-Light stare. He goes in for a chase dodge stare, and it actually connects. I don't think Wrench can make it back. He acknowledges that. Gives him a little bit of a salute before falling to his death. But Wrench still has another stock to work with. But like I said, because this is an Asuri Ditto, just because noeL was down 2 stocks doesn't mean that he's lost the match. And he's showing that if he plays patiently, he has a chance. That side air puts him off stage, and Wrench, making me eat my words, falls right to the side of the stage, throws out the gravity cancel down sig, and sends noeL flying to his death. A 2-0 lead secured for Wrench here in this best of 5. And noeL, he's got to have a reverse sweep to be able to get out of this. He has to win 3 games in a row.
And he knows exactly that. You're seeing that on his face right now. He is stone cold. He knows he's in a rough spot at this point, going up against Wrench here. Wrench proving everyone that didn't believe him. We can't. Oh, that's okay. That's Patrick dabbing. That is a picture on his phone of Patrick dabbing that he set up beforehand so he could show on stream.
Shouts to Patrick.
I think that is a Wrench emote on Twitch.
Oh, is it?
I think that's his affiliate emote. I don't remember which tier it is.
Well,
but
whoever subscribed to Wrench, spam your Patrick dabs.
Yeah.
We're going into game number 3.
I think it might just be Wrench.
And it might be a 3-0 for Wrench. noeL, however, making that swap over to Hattori. The Asuri Ditto is done. He is conceded to Wrench, saying, you have the better Asuri in this Ditto. It's now time for me to try a different approach as he moves over to Hattori, something that we saw Boomy playing a little bit earlier, and now they're fighting off stage once again. Nice recovery, 2 recoveries in a row, no nair follow-up. noeL waiting in place, dashes back, looking for this D-Lights, trying to get a little bit more hurt in the Wrench. This is the first time that he's had a little bit of a lead, but Wrench is closing that up really quickly with these guitar strings.
Now it's interesting that he's coming in with this Hattori here. When we saw him switch to the Koji as his other option earlier, he's opting for this Hattori. He still has the sword that he loves on Asuri, but he has the spear as well that we saw Boomy using really well over here. He's going to have increased range. The gravity cancel neutral signature is going to reflect Wrench off of the stage, send him down, beautifully placed.
And I really want to actually emphasize how he placed that, because if he faced the direction that Wrench was recovering from, he would have ported forward a little bit too far and it would not have hit. He had to pivot that neutral sig in order to connect it, and that got KO. That got the KO when he needed it. If you're hit into the side of the stage and you don't touch it yourself, you don't get your jumps back. and that's what he took advantage of. Wrench wasn't necessarily in kill percent, but because of the way that he was hit and the jump that he already used to try to recover, noeL was able to get that stock, and now Wrench has a mountain to climb to be able to take back this game. Number 3 here is noeL is looking quite strong on the Satori, holding onto the sword and sticking to it.
noeL's just in orange at this point. Like you said, Wrench has to find so much damage. You see him sticking on the wall for a little bit before going back onto the main platform, trying to engage in this neutral game that wasn't favorable before in the Satori matchup, but did work for him in the other 2 games so far, which is why Wrench has the lead. There's the sidelight coming out from noeL. The nair coming out from Wrench, the double jumps, the triple jumps coming out from Wrench here.
Oh, and the down air, Wrench has to be very careful. He goes for the same GC neutral stick, doesn't connect, but doesn't punish it with his life, and he manages to find a recovery. Wrench on the side of the stage nairs to stop that down air from noeL, but noeL is loving every one of these trades that he gets because he's keeping his stock, and more damage is being brought to Wrench as he finally finds the ground pound to be able to get that stock. 2-2 here, but Wrench took quite a beating off stage as he was trying to confirm that kill.
Wrench immediately picks up the weapon spawn that is on the field. He has guitars in his hand. You see noeL fighting a little bit unarmed before going to it. He does have the spear. That's something we haven't really seen from him yet so far in this matchup against Wrench. Let's see what he has here. Oh, that's a big neutral sig opportunity. Wrench tries to go for another one, a little bit premature. noeL's going to punish it. Ooh, that is going to find priority to beat noeL's neutral signature, coming down straight at an angle on it, at that 45-degree angle. Going for it, that is going to lead to the kill. Wrench turning this around, getting the lead.
Wrench showing that he definitely does not like to be at a stock deficit there. Throwing out the neutral sigs on the left and the right side of the stage, slide charging them, and now bringing in the hurt with these guitars. noeL has an opportunity, even thinks up, he finds the downer. I don't think Wrench has the jumps to make it back. Weapon toss definitely confirms that even if his dodge is refreshed, which he uses for a taunt promptly, he is going to fall to his death, and now we're back to a completely even game, but Wrench, he's kind of got the momentum going for him here. noeL needs to be able to stop it with the sword, which he did on stock number 1. Wrench finds the sword himself, and noeL looked like he went for a weapon toss combo and went straight past him, but instead finds that GC downlight in the ground pound, looking for these spear combos. Let's see if we can see a double D-light into side air coming out from noeL like we saw from Boomy in that earlier match. Instead, finding the sidelight. Wrench getting a combo with a down air into recovery. noeL not finding anything with the spear just yet and getting punished off that sidelight. Sidelight into neutral light coming out from Wrench D.
The jumping side air's coming up from noeL. There he picks up the downlight. He doesn't throw the side air. Sorry, the double downlight. There's another downlight side air. noeL has more damage onto Wrench than the other way around.
And now noeL going in for that recovery, doesn't manage to get punished, goes for the side sig that may have ended it. If he can get a few more down airs, a lot more will kill off of the spear than just a signature. And that might make noeL have a little bit more comfort in knowing that he has some kill options. Wrench is beneath the stage. Will he go for the weapon toss? No, instead he goes beneath, stares him into the stage. Wrench dodges back to the stage to get his wall touch. noeL tosses that weapon aside, looking for the sword. He's trying to get a D-light. If he gets a D-light off the side of that platform, that's going to be a D-light Sair into a kill, and possibly into a game number 4. Wrench jumping with these Sairs, going with the downer. He finds a down sig, the weapon toss. He dodges past it. Will he go for the ground pound here? No, Wrench instead finding that Sair, goes for a downer on the sword. noeL manages to make it back, but now it's looking really frightening. This could be another player stuck in the ground pound.
Wrench knocks out noeL. Wrench coming through with upset after upset after upset in the loser's bracket, going up, what, 3-0 against noeL? That's so big.
It gives us the okay hand in celebration as he's going to be moving up into losers semis to fight against the winner of Straight to the Point Wilson and Little Cap, but no, Wrench just